I made 412 YouTube videos on my main channel and gained over 8,000 subscribers over the last year and 3 months, posting every single day. When I started, I was absolutely clueless, making all the mistakes you could have possibly made. And it cost me money that I could have been making way sooner. So for the first 6 months, I literally made no money from YouTube. I made a little bit of money, and then I had another 3 month dry streak of no money at all before I figured out some things that took me from 0 to 9K the very next month, and then making a consistent 5 to take 10K thereafter that. So these are all the lessons that I wish I could have told my younger self who was just getting started out absolutely clueless, that would have really shortcut this process and allowed me to have greater success on YouTube, growing the audience quicker, and also made money quicker. So let's dive into the first one, which is super important, which is you need to decide your niche from the start of the channel. You can't just start posting random shit or your thoughts that day, or title your video your thought, whatever you had in the shower. You need to be very specific as to what your niche is going to be, and it needs to be something that's aligned to your life and something that you've actually done yourself that you can confidently speak on, that people are going to be able to resonate with. Because if you're not talking about something that you actually know anything about, people are going to see right through that shit and your channel is not going to grow. Credibility is a really big factor when it comes to growing on YouTube. So you need to be credible in whatever it is, the niche that you decide to talk about. So for example, if you're a really skinny kid and you want to talk about fitness, it's going to be very hard for you to get that traction. Whereas if you're a dude with massive shoulders, big chest, big arms, it's going to be a lot easier for people to listen to you because you have the results that they want. So credibility is huge. Take that into consideration when you're deciding your niche. But you need to pick your niche and you need to revolve your channel around that topic. Now, your content can be a little broad. It doesn't need to be the exact thing that you talk about. So for example, say you sell a fitness coaching program where your method is you help people achieve a movie star body with one 45-minute workout per week. You don't need to make every video about that, but your fitness is your niche, right? So you can talk about fitness, you can talk about training, how to get abs, you can talk about how fitness has improved your life, how it has improved your dating life. You can do anything related to fitness that ties back to people, just overall your dream audience getting attracted into your channel, and then some of those people are going to want to work with you on your coaching program. So that's really the first thing you got to understand is niche and the type of content you need to make, and staying very aligned to your niche. That's super important. Now, the next thing, which I didn't do for over 7 months, is plan out my videos. And actually, I did plan out a couple based off of outliers. And if you don't know what an outlier is basically a video that's performed extremely well on someone else's channel. There was a couple of times when I was experimenting, just bored, whatever, and I planned out an outlier, and those were the ones that actually performed really well. So funny enough, the few times I did do that, it made my channel do really well. So I didn't start planning out videos until 6 or 7 months into my journey. And that is when I finally started to gain traction on YouTube, getting consistent views. I was aligned with the niche. Things really started to go well for me, all because I finally just started to plan out the titles and thumbnails and script videos out. Not script them necessarily like word for word, but have a general outline. And this was really the key that allowed me to start gaining traction, and as a result, making money. So planning out your video is absolutely essential, and for that reason, I'm giving every single one of you my YouTube strategy board. It's an exact copy of mine, giving you everything you need to plan everything out, to build good intros, have like a ton of organization within your actual video. I have a crazy thing that it's a whole outline for when you're creating the video. It's super valuable, and that's for free. It's the first link in the description below. You can grab that now. So the next thing that you need to know that I wish I did when I was younger was make good intros. Really understand that intros are the most important 30 seconds of the video. What you need to do in the intro is you need to validate your title. So for example, a lot of the times I'll just state the title or some very similar variation of it first thing. So when someone clicks the video, they hear exactly what they just read. And that's so key to not clickbait people, to make them feel like they're getting what they clicked on. The next thing you want to do is establish credibility. So there's many different ways you can do this. You got to learn how to communicate effectively your ideas, your thoughts, and articulate them in a way that makes sense with people. But there's a lot of different things you can do. You can do a low to high story, depending if it's like a transformation video. So if I talk about developing confidence on my main channel, I can like briefly just mention how I was a shy, insecure kid growing up who struggled with X, Y, and Z, and how I went on to travel the world and meet people with ease and date girls. And it's a low to high transformation. There's so many different ways that you can articulate this, but you have to figure out what works best for you and your channel and your niche. But I have many different styles that I'll use to articulate credibility on that topic. And then the last thing is going to be a promise of what you're going to deliver. And you're going to say, like, I'm going to tell you the 5 lessons that I wish I knew when I was younger, right? And that takes us on to the next point, which is having a structured video, something like 5 lessons, 7 lessons, the 3 things that changed my life. Having something so that the audience knows what they're getting into. You're promising that you're going to deliver on a specific thing so that they know what they're going to listen to. They know that, oh yeah, there's 3 lessons. This is the second, the third. Okay, that's interesting. If you just come on and then you just start speaking, it's very hard for your retention to be good unless you're someone who is already a massive influencer. If you have a following of 200,000, your videos might end up getting 30,000 views because you've got a huge audience, so you can just sit down on camera and talk and people will listen. But when you're just starting out, you need to really make it as good for retention as possible. And retention is really just how much of your audience is watching your video for a long time. That means that people resonate and actually stick around. So retention just means that audience likes the video and listens and gets value from it. So that's so key, is making it a very structured video so that people can get value from your content. Now, the next thing I want to say is, after working with some people, helping them build their personal brands, I've seen them do this, and this is something I personally didn't have too much of an issue with, being in business and having success online and different things. I kind of understood this, which is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can just copy what is working. And this is, I mentioned it before, the outlier. This is what's known as an outlier strategy. You can go online using this tool called vidIQ, download it on Chrome, and you'll be able to see on other people's channels, ideally people who are smaller, have a smaller following, and have a video that's performed really well, what are outliers? Meaning, what's something that's performed a lot better than everything else on this person's channel within your niche? And you can literally just go and copy it word for word, the title if you want, or you can make some slight variations and changes that you like that fit your brand better. It's super straightforward, and it's not really that bad, because I've never watched or consumed anyone's content within my niche besides the 2 or 3 people who I actually liked, who have been watching for years before I ever started my channel. The other people who are directly competitors to me with the same size audience, I steal their video ideas that are outliers all the time, but I don't watch their content. So my video is authentic to me, but it's just a proven concept that already works. Why work harder when you could work smarter? And that's what outliers is all about. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just take what's working and use that and get good results from it. Now, the last thing I want to touch on, which is that your energy is contagious. You need to be someone who's captivating, interesting, you have stories to tell, all these good things. And the way that you show up to the camera is so important. So if I was here and I was tired and I was like, oh, fuck, man, I don't want to record this video, and I'm down, and I'm like, oh yeah, energy is important, we wouldn't be watching it. So you can do whatever you want to do, but I'll just give you some tips. For me, to get into a high frequency state and be able to record quality content, I start my day off with a morning routine of meditating, gratitude journaling, and reading. From there, I either go and work out if it's a workout day, or I have a coffee and I just get to recording. And on the non-training days, I usually do martial arts, but it's later in the day, so I don't wait to record then. But I really liked recording after either like that morning routine and a coffee, or the morning routine, a coffee, and some physical activity. The physical activity is great, but a coffee does a really good job as well. So that's what I've found to work for me, and it really helps me get my energy up, be good performing on camera, and it makes a big difference. People will stick around if you can be captivating, if you're entertaining, if you got good energy, and if not, you're gonna quickly lose people who would have watched your video if you were just a more entertaining person. So if you wanna work with me to start or grow your personal brand and develop your coaching business, there's a strategy call that's completely for free where we can map this out and we can figure out how I can help you and help you grow your audience, make money online. That's completely for free to book the call in and have the strategy session. So you can book that now. And once again, if you want the strategy board to start producing content, or take your content to the next level, really having that structure, that is going to be the first link in the description below. You can grab it as well.